My name is Emade Banks, and today I'll be presenting the role and responsibility of a registered nurse. Nurses are backbones of the healthcare industry. Without the support of nurses, physician and surgeon will not be able to work optimally. Registered nurses play a significant role in every healthcare facility, ensuring medical care is provided to every individual who suffer medical condition, no matter how mild or severe the challenges are. As front line of the healthcare workforce, nurses' primary duty is to ensure quality medical care is provided to patients in the following way. One of the many duties is to make sure patients are comfortable while using healthcare facilities, assist in surgeries and other procedures, operate medical equipment, empathize with patients and their families, provide home care and bedside care, educate other nurses and use technology to provide care in remote areas. That's deprived areas. This essay is going to be discussing about the recent changes and responsibility of a registered nurse. Some of the recent changes and their impact on the role and responsibility of the registered nurse are Project 2000, the qualification entry of the nurses, the use of technology, and I'm going to be discussing about COVID-19. That's some of the recent changes and their impacts. There have been major changes in training of nurses over the past decade, especially since the introduction of Project 2000. Nurses' education aim to increase this Project 2000 is aimed now to increase the professional status of nurses and to enhance their skills, focusing on wider community care. According to Allen, 2009, he said, with the impartation of Project 2000, the phases of nurses' education changed significantly. The previous apprenticeship approach is being replaced with a proper student stature, a degree-based study for 3 years, splitting the time between classroom learning and practical replacement. The first 18 months provide basic grounding in 4 nursing disciplines. That's the mental health, adult, children, and learning disability care. At the successful completion, a student is awarded a diploma or a degree relevant to their discipline. In the past, nursing training was within the hospital, and upon qualification, there will be registered nurses and further training to become an enrolled nurse. Unlike in the past, when nurses gain practical experience, in hospital world, nurses trained in universities are academically sound and fit for practice. Although newly trained nurses lack experience, they are more efficient and effective in operating modern technology needed in hospital settings. According to Department of Health, 2012, the government extends prescription responsibility to nurses and midwives. They can now prescribe any medication for any medical condition within their competence. Not only caring for those affected by COVID-19, as well as consoling the victim family, but the critical role the nurses and midwives play in the rollout COVID-19 vaccine that eventually turns the tides of the deadly virus. Now I'll be moving to the role of the Nursing and Midwifery Council in relation to nursing practice. That's the NLC. The Nursing and the Midwifery the role of the Nursing and Midwifery Council in relation to nursing practice. Nursing and Midwifery is a professional body that that's the NLC, is a professional body that regulates and represents its member across the United Kingdom. The association has a statutory duty to monitor and manage the registered nurse and midwives, including providing advice and guidelines and undertaking research relevant to their members. The NLC main role is to protect the public by ensuring all nurses and midwives meet the standards set in the code, including up-to-date knowledge of the practice, as well as being able to practice safely and provide high quality care, upholding the professional standard of practice and upholding the professional standard of practice and conduct. In protecting the public, the NLC makes sure that the registered nurse and midwife requirements of practice and evidence of safety are strictly followed. And over the years, a huge proportion of nurse and midwife in the NHS workforce are recruited from overseas, and it is the sole responsibility of the NNC to ensure that they are registered and fit to practice in the role they have been licensed for. The association can take action against those that do not meet the standard of practice, and if they didn't meet the standard of practice, or they did not provide, or maybe they provide misleading references, the NFC is responsible to take action against such people. As part of their role, they ensure nurses and midwives are informed about new evidence, skills, and change in practice, and also as well as legislation that is affecting the care of patients. Now we'll move to the implication of the code of nursing practice and the role of the registered nurse. The code, the NLC code, is structured around 4 different sections, namely prioritize people, practice effectively, promote professionalism and trust, and preserve safety. Developed by key stakeholders. This code is developed by key stakeholders. The code can be used by midwife and nurses and nursing association as well. With the code of nursing practice, the interests of people needing nursing and midwifery service should be above any other thing. The dignity, safety, respect, and all the needs of those receiving care should be above any other things. The dignity, safety, respect, and all the need of those receiving care should be prioritized. Although there are so many challenges in the hospital setting, such as patients with attitude issues, with wages, and staff shortage. However, nurses and midwifery must still act in the best interest of people at all time. Practice effectively simply means always working in line with the best available evidence. Achieving this is ensuring that any information or advice given is evidence-based, communication is clear and accurate, records are kept. Preserve safety is making sure patients and public safety are not compromised. Work must be done within the limit of the nurse competence, such as offering help if an emergency arises in the practice setting and acting without delay if believed there is risk to the patient or public protection. Promoting professionalism and trust is ensuring the reputation of profession is upheld at the end at all time. Nurses are expected to display a personal commitment to the standard of practice and behavior as stated in the code, and these include a model of integrity and leadership for others to aspire to. Now we'll be moving to the need for effective communication. Effective communication refers to verbal speech or other mode of relaying information in order to get the point across. When the purpose of information is not clear or misunderstood, the end result could be disastrous, especially in the healthcare setting. In a multidisciplinary healthcare setting, where workers of various skills, an example, for example, the role is for example, a physician role is completely different from that of an occupational therapist. However, communication must be clearly understood between both parties to ensure that the recommended care is met. An example, in the hospital, patient needs to convey information about their health challenges clearly to health workers, and also it is critically vital that workers adequately comprehend the information given in order to decrease the risks of health health complaints from reoccurring. A good example is if the need for certain medication is not clearly conveyed to the patient, the risks might be disastrous. So, for example, if someone have high blood, say BP, and the patient the patient didn't convey the information, or he didn't inform the doctor or nurses, or there's no test carried out, it might be very disastrous to both the patient and the nurse. So it's very effective communication is very vital, it's very important in the healthcare setting. Note taking, written, verbal cues, and all non-verbal cues all are very important in the conveying effective communication in the healthcare setting. Now we're moving to the effectiveness of multidisciplinary approach in healthcare setting. A multidisciplinary healthcare approach refers to service provided by a group of experts belonging to a separate discipline of medical profession. The aim is to come together and provide patients with a range of care that will ultimately address their medical need. In a multidisciplinary healthcare setting, the responsibility of plan for the treatment and delivery lies on a team of professionals instead of a single individual. The team, which is usually the doctors, nurses, dietitians, and other medical and paramedical staff members, etc., work in a collaborative approach to get out the best for the patients. The member of the multidisciplinary care team are tasked with providing services related to their experts and must work cohesively for the best outcome for the patient. It is beneficiary for both patients and healthcare givers, as it ensures improved healthcare service, treatment and outcome, better care coordination, reduce duplication, better opportunity for experts to learn from each other, and save time and resources. This approach is primarily for chronic health conditions such as cancer, and it is intended to provide patients with easy access to professionals in different areas of expertise. However, a multidisciplinary approach that includes the coming together of professionals also sees rivalry among teams. Yeah, we can see rivalry amongst this kind of settings because everybody is a professional in their own field. Among the teams, you can see rivalry, and the absence of any team member will result in a delay of decision making. Yeah, this is it. Okay, in conclusion, nurses and midwives play a critical role in providing quality care to patients. One of the key changes in the healthcare setting over the decade resulted in the training of nurses being split between classroom learning and practical replacement. Responsibility in management of advanced technology such as MRI scan. Not only is the NLC responsible for the education of the nurse, but as well as approving medical programs offered in the relevant institution and for revalidation. Guiding registered nurses is the code of nursing practice, which is the key to ensuring safety is preserved, promoting professionalism, etc., and so on and so forth. Effective communication that is clear and practice will ensure information is not misunderstood between caregiver as well as patient. Thank you.